Thanks for being here today. Wanted to have a look at something that I got an email for just yesterday, actually. It was from Sonarworks, and you've probably heard of Sonarworks because they make something that's called Reference 4 Studio. And basically what that does is it's essentially just a reference tool for you to flatten out all of the different bumps and curves in your audio so that you can have a better listening environment regardless of what kind of speakers you may have or what kind of room you may be listening to everything in. So we're going to have a look at something that they've been showing and had in development for a little while, and it's something called SoundID Listen app. What it's going to do is it's going to create a personal listening profile for you, and they match that up with some smart algorithms based on a hearing test that the app gives you, and then it gives you this EQ curve of information for you to listen to your audio the way that you want to hear it. We all have different ears, we all have different ways that we like to hear our music, and so Sonarworks is trying to capitalize on that. And we're going to have a look at that today. So if you like what you're seeing here, please hit the like button. If you've seen any other videos of mine and you want to help me out grow the channel, if you would do me a favor and hit the subscribe link below and the notification bell, and you'll be notified of any future videos that we have coming out regarding home recording. So without further ado, let's jump in at Sonarworks SoundID. So I got the email. They're giving away a 60-day free trial, and you can see that by going to their website. It's sonarworks.com/soundid/listen. And as you can see, it touts a personalized sound on your computer or your smartphone. Now, they used to have something called TrueFi. That was an app that Sonarworks put out, and it was for you to use on your devices to listen to music with. Not something that you would use in a DAW situation for mixing or mastering, like in a studio, home studio, for example, but something that you would listen to your music with. And that was, I guess, kind of the first iteration of what SoundID is. SoundID is the next step after where they left off with that app. That app is no longer supported. So you can get it on Android and iOS. You go to the Google Play Store. You can look for Sonarworks SoundID. And I've installed it on my Android phone. And then you can also look at the App Store for iOS. And it says this app is available only on the App Store for iPhone and iPad. And this is how it looks there. So 2.5 stars out of 8 ratings. It is a free app, mind you. You want to download the app onto your phone. You log in, you create a profile. And what they do is you start listening to music. Okay, so right here you can see it says, do you prefer A or B? So this is how they start creating your profile. You listen to a genre of music that maybe you prefer, rock, EDM, jazz, whatever. You pick that and it plays you sound clips in your headphones. And it says simply, do you prefer A or do you prefer B? So you keep selecting that as it builds the profile. You're probably going to listen to, 20 clips maybe. It analyzes what you're doing and it says, okay, we think that this is how you like to listen to music. And then there's also a hearing test that they give you, and it goes through I don't know if you've ever had a hearing test before. I have. And they basically play these pitches in each ear, and you adjust the volume on the phone until you can't hear that pitch anymore in that ear. And that's how they give you a hearing test. Now, after I used it, I listened to some of the music. It said you can connect the app to Spotify. Now, here's my first problem with the app. when I connected it to Spotify and started playing my music through the Spotify app, Spotify did not like me doing that. It kept giving me an error message saying, can't do this right now, try again. Can't do this right now, try again. So that was kind of weird. So I closed the apps completely down, SoundID and Spotify, reopened them, still got the same issue. After about 2 or 3 tries of try again, Spotify let me play the music through SoundID so I could use my sound profile. So that was kind of the first issue. So the other thing is once you've created your profile, this is kind of the weird thing too. You can only create the profile on the app, on Android or iOS. Once you've created the profile, then you can download the desktop app for your Mac or PC. And then you log in and it applies your listening profile that you created on the smartphone directly to the desktop app. The other thing that you'll want to look at too is the pricing. So the TrueFi app that Sonarworks had before was I think $75 or something like that, and you can get it on sale sometimes too. But you bought the app and you owned it. Now Sonarworks, like many other software companies, is going through the subscription model where they can keep getting your money basically. So they're giving away $25 for a year's worth of using the app. Now, after hearing the difference, I am an audio lover. I love listening to music. I think it's worth it. $25 for a year is worth it. $50 for a year, it's starting to push it a little bit. If like $25 a year would be awesome, and maybe they would grandfather you in for that cost if you get in now and help them develop the app a little bit, and they give you a 60-day free trial, so that's great. Now the other thing too, because I have Sonarworks Reference 4 Studio installed on my system, this is for a listening environment when I'm mixing music or mastering music. Okay, so I guess for me I have to mentally keep a note that says, SoundID is for listening and enjoying to music. Sonarworks is for my mixing studio environment. So as long as I keep that mentality in my head, then it should be fine. But I'm kind of surprised that they don't have it built into Sonarworks and SoundID, where it just says, oh, you're not in your DAW, you're listening to music. We're gonna use SoundID and turn off Sonarworks for you. It kind of works, but it kind of doesn't also. I've had to actually completely quit the apps. Now, SoundID, when it opens on your desktop, it'll say, we've noticed that you're listening to music and you have Sonarworks running right now. You have to quit Sonarworks. Well, Sonarworks, if you look here, it has an enable-disable button. If I disable it, it shouldn't be sending any audio through that driver. So SoundID should be able to take over. But it doesn't. I have to actually go down, open up my window, and I have to completely kill the Sonarworks app. So then if I go back to my mixing environment, let's say I'm just taking a mixing break for 20 minutes and listening to some music or whatever to give my brain a rest, and I open up my DAW again, I have to basically reopen Sonarworks, and then I have to kill SoundID. So I have to go in and totally kill SoundID and then restart Sonarworks. So to me, the two aren't really working very well together. It's kind of a pain in the butt if you have Sonarworks Reference installed and SoundID. If you're just using SoundID on your smartphone or your iPad or your tablet, it sounds awesome, no hassle, except for the issue with Spotify connecting it. Spotify does not like rerouting its audio through that plugin. But other than that, it seemed to work pretty good, and it sounded really good too. So these are just my findings on it. Hopefully they come out with a couple of fixes on it. And again, the pricing I think is a little steep for the year after the discount. Like after the first year, $25, fine. $24 or whatever, so it's going to cost you like a little over $2 a month. I can see that. I'd be okay with that. Or maybe they partner with Spotify and say, if you are a premium Spotify member, you get this added on at no extra cost. Or you only get it for $1. Or you pay Spotify an extra $1 a month. Instead of $10, you pay them $11 and you get SoundID built in. I think that's a better way to go, but charging $45 US to everyone per year after the discount starts, I think that's a little steep, because after 5 years of using it, I mean, you just spent $250 to continue using an app that gives you better sound quality. Basically just EQs your music for you based on your personal preferences. Anyway, these are just my thoughts. If you agree or disagree, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this app if you've given it a shot. I think it's a cool idea. I just think they got the pricing wrong, and they definitely need to work out the bugs when they promote that it connects to Spotify and they promote that it's part of Sonarworks, and they need to fix that stuff. Because the same people that are going to be going for SoundID right out of the gate are Sonarworks customers. So these are people who have Reference 4 or had TrueFi already installed on their systems. So if you want them to use this and you want them to pay for it, you definitely need to make it work flawlessly between the two systems. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to know more about home recording, hit the subscribe link below and the notification bell. We're trying to grow the channel, and it would help me out if you hit the subscribe link. And yeah, other than that, thanks for being here. Keep making music.